guys, it's Deborah. So I just wanted to do a quick update on some things, and I'm pretty sure most of you probably know about all of this, but it's just, this is really time sensitive. So US has decided to give Ukraine tanks, and they're called Abram tanks, ABRAMS, which is like Abraham's first name, which I found interesting. But anyway, if they give these to Ukraine, I mean, this is literally like, pretty much almost starting World War III. So that's really huge. And there's also Germany who said, hey, if you're going to give those tanks, then we're going to send our Leopard tanks to Ukraine. So I don't have any idea how this is going to fully play out, obviously, but it's obviously going to speed things up. I don't know if you guys saw, but I had shared I think it was a vision or a dream of a woman who was from the Netherlands in like the 70s, and she saw World War III happens at the same time of the rapture. And yeah, so World War III. So, and it's just about when Jesus comes for us. So, yeah, this is crazy, and it's like a big deal. And the fact that Germany also is stepping into it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard about this, but I just wanted to touch on it because it's kind of time sensitive. From what I understand, in the next 3 days, it's going to be like solidified if they're going to do this. And it sounds like a pretty much sure thing, but I know they said in 3 days they're going to, I think they said 3 days, they're going to know for sure. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, this is just stepping it up to the next level. Something else I want to touch on, and just something interesting to me, is yesterday was January 23rd, which is like 1, 2, 3. And I just think like 1, 2, 3, go. And it was like that day had a lot of things going on, a lot of things. But one thing I wanted to talk about was this doomsday clock. If you don't know what the doomsday clock is, it's this clock that was invented to say when the world is going to end. And they just pushed it a little closer. So right now they are saying it's 90 seconds to midnight. One thing I found interesting is that it's always to midnight, and the bridegroom comes at midnight. And, there's a lot of verses about, the Jesus coming at midnight. So, and even with the Galilean wedding, if you guys know what I'm talking about, it's like at midnight or the middle of the night. So there's that. But yeah, so they just set the doomsday clock to 90 seconds to midnight, meaning when it hits midnight, that's it. And somebody else found this, not me, but I wanted to bring it to your attention that on the Economist magazine, it says the next catastrophe, and there's a clock. And if you do a close-up, it's actually pretty much 90 seconds to midnight. So the doomsday clock, if you guys look it up, it's a thing. They changed this clock ever so often to say we're closer to the end of time. And I'll tell you one cool thing in a minute about that clock, but sorry. It's interesting that on the Economist magazine, it literally looks like 90 seconds to midnight. This is the next catastrophe. So that picture there with the big clock, with the little clock inside it, the big clock is what the actual doomsday clock looks like. And then the little clock at the top is what the magazine's clock looks like. So they look pretty much the same. And it says the next catastrophe. So it shows like a nuclear bomb in the background of the magazine. It shows a meteor hitting the earth. So yeah, I just found that really interesting. And I don't know if you guys knew that they just reset this clock. But like I said, a lot of things really did happen on January 23rd. And I just think 1, 2, 3, go. Almost like who knows what's coming next. But anyway, so that was one thing. But listen to this. The doomsday clock was actually made in 1947, which was actually which was actually 1 year, like before Israel became a nation. Like our clocks, kind of like Christians' clocks, got set 1948. There was like a end time clock being set. You know what I mean? 1948. That's when a real clock was being set, the fig tree generation clock. But here you have this doomsday clock. I didn't know it got set pretty much around the same time. So it says the doomsday clock was first published in 1947 by the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, a group formed to discuss the threat of nuclear war. The clock has since been updated 24 times. So, I mean, we're pretty much at the end of this clock. So I just found it was interesting that it actually was made when the prophetic clock kind of started. There's so many more things that I could report on and stuff, but this was just a few things that seemed really time sensitive. Not so much the clock, but definitely what's happening with those tanks. So yeah. Something else that I found interesting, I would like your guys' opinion. So I was watching Deep Believer. I don't know if you know Deep Believer, but it's this channel that does a lot of near-death experience videos, and they do a lot of just like interviews with people who have had experiences with God and stuff. And there was this one woman I watched the other day, and she said she had an experience where she was alone in the desert with God. She had overdosed on drugs, and she was alone in the desert with God, with Jesus, and who was God. And she saw him, and there was a whole experience. And he looked like this, she said. Now, the thing is, she tried to describe how he looks, and his eyes were very piercing, but he was stern. In this, because she had overdosed on drugs, he did send her back, and she lived, and she became a Christian. But in that situation, she was in the desert. And so anyway, when I watched the video, you never know who really is legit or not. Like, so I prayed about it, and then I just opened the verse of the day on my Bible app, and the verse was about the desert. I'm going to put it on the screen. The verse of the day was about the desert. Anyway, that felt like a real confirmation to me that what she was saying was right. And I don't try to doubt people, but I mean, you just never know. So I prayed on it, and right at that moment, that was the verse of the day. And she met Jesus in a desert, but he was very stern looking, not like just stern, she just said. Anyway, people see him in different ways. But then today, somebody sent her a picture. She has a YouTube channel. Somebody sent her a picture of Jesus, and she said she was like in shock. She was like amazed because it was what she saw in the desert. So this is the picture that somebody sent her. If you've watched my old videos, it would be really old. I had one dream only where I saw the face of Jesus, and before I don't think I had ever seen that Akian Krameric picture, you know, the famous one where she painted when she was like 8 years old. Obviously, that was a supernatural situation. She was only 8. What she thinks of him now and how she is now, I'm not commenting on. It's what 8-year-old child is innocent. So anyway, what I saw in my dream looked like that picture from Akiana Krameric, and I didn't know about all that then when I had that dream. So then when I saw the picture that she had painted, I was like, whoa, that's what I saw in the dream. Now, it's very similar to this picture. I mean, not exactly, but very similar. So I would just like to know what you guys think. What's your thoughts on this picture? And a lot is to do with the eyes. Like, so in my dream, he had these eyes that seemed like they could just go on forever, almost like an ocean. And they were like green, but blue, like two colors. And I'm sure on Earth, I would think he'd have brown eyes, as an olive colored Jewish man. But maybe in his risen state, it's a greeny blue. So I just know that time that's what I saw. Then I saw that painting, and I don't want to do anything that displeases God. If he's like, no, I don't look anything like that. No, this is all not right, whatever. I know there's the verse that says no one has seen God, but many people have seen Jesus. He walked on this earth. So, we've definitely, lots of people have seen Jesus all in those days. So, I don't know that we are to never know what he looks like at this point, because the dream I had, I don't see how I could have known what he looked like in that painting. And then it matches the Shroud of Turin, and this seems to match both of those pictures. It's just that stern look, which is a different look. It's almost like, and when he looks stern, it doesn't look like your typical mad. It looks like, I am for you. I want the best for you. I don't want to say but smarten up, but something like that. I want the best for you, but get it together. That's like the vibe I got. Like when she overdosed, he's like, I love you. I want the best for you, but get it together. And I mean it. No, he doesn't even have to say I mean it. It's just get it together. Just, that's it. It's just one word. It's like he looks at you and you're just knowing he's not playing, he's not messing around. So let me know. What do you think? Yeah, I guess that's all I was going to say. I just wanted to report on these things, touch base on some of these things, and I'll keep you posted on the whole car situation. Praise God that this went. You guys were such a huge help, and thank you so much to the community. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a GoFundMe and reached my goal in like less than a day. It was a miraculous, amazing, wonderful thing, and I'm just so grateful to this community that I'm part of it. And I feel like, I've been here for so many years, like at least 4 years. And I feel like it's been worth it in the spiritual way and working for God. But then it's also been a blessing in the physical way, like this situation that's happened. So that's just amazing. And just in the conversations and meeting people and getting to know people and stuff. So I guess that's that for now. I'll keep you guys updated. And if you are new to the faith, you've definitely made the right decision. As you can see, it's all coming true, just as the Bible has foretold it. And if you are not a believer, please understand that this is not a game. There's not a lot of time to just, waste and wonder if this is true or not. Just do some research, talk to God in prayer, and it will be made all clear to you. It's not that seeing is believing, it's believing is seeing. That's when you truly see. So hopefully you believe and put your faith in Jesus. And if you believe with your heart and confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and that he rose from the dead, he died and he rose again, then you will be saved. And yeah, you will have eternity with him, with a brand new body and with a place prepared for you in heaven. And you'll be kings and priests on this earth. And it's just a real good deal. And so, yeah, anyway, for those of you who've been with me for a long time, thank you so much. And I really hope to see you in the air soon and at the Father's house for a party and wedding for 7 years. So, yeah, that should be very soon. But until then, we have to just keep bearing our cross. It is not easy at all, but we have to just keep on keeping on for now. This is just what we've agreed to when we've become believers. It's part of the package, but so is the reward at the end. So anyway, I hope this was interesting for you guys, and I will talk to you in the next one, or hopefully see you in the air. And until next time, God bless and shalom.